What business or store that was killed by the internet do you miss the most? Arcades for sure. My dad used to drop me off at a nickel arcade with $5. I felt like a king. This is a big one for me. Arcades were how my dad and I bonded when I was really young. There was one in our mall growing up called Pocket Change, and we would always go race each other or shoot aliens together. I miss that place. I never got into arcades because by the time I was old enough to be any good at video games, around 2002 to 2004, basically every arcade game I encountered was $1 to $2 per play, and I didn't think it was fun to blow a whole $2 on one or two tries on a video game. Especially when I had an N64 at home. It's a shame that everything costs so much nowadays, especially here in Canada with our trash dollar. 12-year-old me misses Toys R Us. My son will more than likely never experience the joy of being let loose in a giant toy store. As an adult, Toys R Us was still fun to walk around in. I've read that they're planning to relaunch Toys R Us in the States sometime this year or next. I hope that pans out. Edit: I am fully aware they exist outside of the States. Bezos sharpens bloody knife. Edit: damage control time. Just pointing out how Amazon murders small companies and the sort. You guys overreacting to spelling mistakes. Licks blood dripping off the blade while he stands on the corpse of a giraffe and his army of automatons lurk behind him. I'd watch this movie. 2 tickets, please. Smile. You can just rent it on Blockbuster. Oh wait. The old Blockbuster in my town had a game console that somehow always had new and interesting games to show. Renting games before buying them. What a glorious time. Sure, there's demos and services, but going into a BB and being able to browse everything. Yeah, edit, yeah, Redbox and libraries are viable options, but aging brings a little perspective. I don't really get into games as much anymore, and with my job, time is a commodity that I have to plan my investments on just as much as anything else. I miss really good hobby shops. I build plastic models, usually World War II aircraft. Those high-end hobby shops have all closed down. Now all you can generally find are RC shops that have a shelf of a couple plastic models here and there. The only exception in the greater Portland area is Tammy's Hobbies, but I'm pretty sure their days are numbered for plastic models as well. I think that has to do with the clientele in the area. All the hobby stores in my area are either plastic models or trains. Or Gundam. The only places around me are Gundam. Not that I'm complaining, because I love that shit. Sales pros in general. A guy selling you a fridge who has sold fridges for 10 years and knows all about them. Now I look for stars and try to discern real versus paid versus bot reviews. Yes. Or the guy in the hardware store that actually knows what tool does what and can help you find the best fasteners and stuff. The hardware store thing still exists in small town America. True Value and Ace to name two. I really miss Radio Shack. I used to always go in there with friends and look at all the remote control helicopters and the crazy TiVo devices and everything that I thought was so awesome. It's so weird how those things were so revolutionary and now it's just like, oh yeah, you can get that at Walmart for $5. Edit: the consensus is everyone hates Best Buy. Used bookstores. Therese: now only one in a 5-city radius that is only open Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. I use Thrift Books now. It's cheap and they have a lot of different books, but it's not the same as browsing through stacks looking for treasures. Edit: I've been informed that for the most part used bookstores are booming. I guess the suburbs outside Detroit are just cesspools. Sounds about right. That's the best part, the browsing. I usually end up picking up books that I would never stumble across online. Luckily we have a used bookstore here that has bag sales once a month. As many books as you can fit into a shopping bag for $5. It's awesome. Did any of you guys have that Discovery Nature store at your malls? It would have those Native American rain tubes, that when placed on its top or bottom had the beads inside sound like it was raining. That, and had a bunch of cool seen on TV toys and books. It was great, then one day it was just gone. Wish it was still around today, so that it would still be cool to learn. Edit: holy ducking shit, first gold and silver, thank you kind strangers. Edit: holy dooly and the pooly, what the fuck is this, platinum? I didn't even know there was one. How can I ever thank you cool dudes for this? Before they were bought out to become the Discovery Channel store, they were called the Nature Company. It was the most fun job for a 16-year-old in the 90s. I haven't thought about the Nature Company in about 25 years. Holy shit, I wanted a mother ducking rain stick. My dad was a kid at heart and bought one. When he passed last year, this memory came up. I think my mom gave it to one of his friends. I got his gold watch and class ring. Chain record stores, like Record Bar or Tower Records. Wolf Camera, where I spent many happy hours indulging my photo hobby in the 1990s. The one thing I actually don't miss, especially towards the end when they became let's sell all sorts of fandom paraphernalia stores. Oh, and I guess we got some CDS behind these Funko Pops. Horrible prices for anything that isn't a major release. Rarely any engaging staff. No way to special order things like imports and such. Always whenever I could supported the independent record stores. Welcome to GameStop. Borders. The one store in a mall nearby used to be a Walden's bookstore, then a Borders, and then a BAM. Books a million, now it's an escape room. Till, your town is allergic to reading. Most of the shops in my small country town close because everyone orders everything off of Amazon, and now there's many abandoned buildings. Funny to see Amazon has replaced Walmart as the boogeyman that's killing mom and pop stores. Yep. 25 years ago Walmart was killing the general stores and Borders and Barnes Noble were killing the local bookstores. Now, people are terrified of losing Barnes Noble due to Amazon, and Borders has been gone for years. Do you think Amazon will eventually kill Walmart and Target? No, Walmart is an institution. Go to one at some point, there are people cashing their paychecks, people living in the parking lot, people buying motor oil and bicycles and clothes. At Target, it's simpler. The main business is affordable clothes, which I doubt will ever go completely online because people like to try them on. No, Walmart is an institution. While I respect your argument and mostly agree, I think it's worth remembering that Sears was an institution in American life for decades and decades. Granted, it took a long time for it to die out, but it eventually did. Sears lost my go-to-store status in the 1990s. When they decided physical stores were more important than their catalog sales. I had tried getting a catalog delivered to my house. First, I had to buy the catalog, $5, then they refused to mail it to me. I had to go to the store to pick it up. I felt they were going to go out of business then. When they started letting other stores sell Craftsman tools, the writing was on the wall. Flea markets. Yes, I know they still exist. The problem is that, thanks to the proliferation of the internet, it's pretty difficult to find a good deal on much of anything, especially games. People check the prices on eBay and other places and just price around that. You could go to a dozen flea markets or pop-up shops and the same game will be around the same price at every single one of them. Gotta beat the flea market vendors to the product. Most peeps are just buying stuff from estate sales. Coworker who works flea markets is always talking about getting crap loads of shit for dirt cheap at estate sales. Not exactly the same experience as a flea market, but if you're just in the market for cheap shit then yeah. Estate sales and auctions. My husband buys and resells things on Amazon and eBay. That's where he gets most of his stuff. That and the clearance racks at Walmart. Also, he showed me how just about everything I buy off Amazon is actually from a dollar store. For example, I bought some cute shelf liner off Amazon for $8. Yeah, that shelf liner was $1 from Dollar General. People literally buy out dollar stores and product like that and list it on Amazon for $10, $15, or $20. You can make some decent money doing it, which is pretty surprising. That explains why so much stuff I buy on Amazon is garbage now. I don't think I had to sift through as many crappy products 510 years ago, and even though they claim to be beating back fake reviews, there are many products with 4 stars that last about a week. I'm always careful to read through the reviews. I pay more attention to the negative ones than the positive. I assume that a bunch of the positive reviews are fake. Electronic stores where you get stuff for projects. I wish I could have gone there. There still are a few such chains left, but I wish more such stores still existed. Fry's Electronics still hangs on, and ditto with Micro Center. I know Best Buy is still hanging on too, but has to be struggling to some extent. And of course, though more for hobbyists and less on computers, there also was Radio Shack. Where I thought all their stores had closed, by now. Their turn to focusing on selling cell and smartphones did not help them at all. Best Buy and Micro Center both developed strategies to compete with the internet. A lot of customers only like to come in and showroom, and not buy anything. However, in order to combat this, if you can prove that what you're buying can be purchased at a lower price on the internet, then they will adjust the price accordingly. Yeah, Best Buy is doing okay. BC, they aren't a parts store, they fulfill a need for a different consumer.